let's edit the envelopes of the eyebrows. What I'll do first is go in and hide the left eye. So we can store that in a layer temporarily and hide that layer. Alright, so we're going to be using our paint weight brush for this section. So I'll select the first envelope object, go ahead and activate the weight tool. Now you can see, or the paint weight brush I should say, now you can see that the brush initially has a very large size, and we probably have other settings that we'll want to tweak. Let's head over to its options. Okay, so here's where we can adjust the strength of the brush. With its max strength set to 1, we'll be able to paint a full weight of 100% to whatever area we paint in. I'm going to leave that set to 1 for now. The max size, we can go ahead and bring that down here. Let's say to about 0.5. Alright, much better. This curve here represents the amount of pressure that we paint with. Let's say if we wanted something a little bit sharper, and being that we're blocking in our weights, we'll definitely want that. Well, we could always select one of the keys in here and bring up its slope that way. Or notice Max has presets we can work with. So I'll use this third option. Now that's done, we can go in and start to paint our weights. We'll also want to make sure that paint blend weights is turned off. And we can bring that back when it's time to smooth out weights. Alright, so now we can just go in and start to block out each section. Alright, so once that's finished, we'll turn off the weight tool, select the next object, bring back our brush, and paint some more. I'm just painting the areas closest to the envelope object. Alright, that looks good. So we can take care of this last brow. Okay, so from here, turning off the tool, we'll go ahead and start to move our controls around and get an idea of how this looks. Alright, this actually is looking pretty good. Great. Okay, so that's going to finish up this first brow. We're going to go ahead and actually complete the brow geometry. We'll have it deforming smoothly, but firstly, we'll want to definitely block out our weights. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is make sure that we can select the vertices on this object, and with the first envelope selected, we'll go ahead and marquee select, head over to the weight tool, and go ahead and set a full weight of 1. Now we can move over to the next section and do the same. I'll just double check the selection, make sure we don't have anything extra selected. Oh. Alright, there we go. It's a little tricky to navigate around there, but we have a few we can deselect that should be weighted to our last envelope object. So I'll go ahead and deselect those and apply the weight to envelope B. Alright, so from here we can go ahead and select the last vertices, double check the selection, choose C, and set a full weight. Alright, now to blend them, it's going to be very easy. All we need to do, we'll start with our first control, turn on auto key, head over to frame 10 and bring the control up. As you can see, we need to reweight some of these points, but that's no problem. I'll go ahead and turn off auto key, go back to skin mode, select these points and weight them fully back to brow A. Alright, so to blend these, we can go to these end vertices, choose the one we'd like to blend to. So in this case, blending back to B, we can use set weight and just continue to set weight until we have something a little bit smoother. Okay, we'll want to apply the same thing to the next row of vertices, this time weighting them back to A. Alright, and there we have it. So now if we were to scrub back and forth, that looks much better. If you wanted to, you can come in, grab this next row, and just add a little bit of weight to kind of smooth that out. And then do the same for this area that favors the first envelope object. Again, apply a little bit of weight back to B. Great, so I'd say that this section here is finished. We can go ahead and remove the animation on A, first selecting the key on frame 10, deleting that, then going back to 0, deleting that. Heading over to the last envelope object, we'll go ahead and bring this up. Alright, turning off auto key, we can now go ahead and blend our weights. Alright, so I'll marquee select, grab this row of vertices, deselect any extra, and these will be weighted to C. Grab this next row and set just a small amount of weight. Then we can blend these back to B. Alright. And I'd like to do the same for the next row. Again, just hit the set weight once. And here's what we end up with. If we were to go ahead and close this out, start to scrub back and forth, that looks really nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete the keys here, and we'll see how everything looks. Selecting each control and moving that around. So I'd say we finished the left eyebrow geometry. We still need to go back in and tweak the brow skin of the brow. So let's say we go ahead and finish that up in the next lesson to complete the brow. And afterwards we can bring our attention to the fingers.